Welcome back to Uncut XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Before we dive into the action, we're going to get introduced to our first new soldier, and he was brought to you by Cryptic Squid. A member of the notoriously tenacious Scottish resistance in his youth, Robert Wallace, a name so Scottish it seems fake, sought to join XCOM to better aid in the fight against our alien oppressors, and to save himself from the inevitable madness of being trapped on a rainy island with bad TV signals and no company other than sheep and other Scots. Wallace dislikes the typical personality of a Scotsman, but when he's around other squad members, he plays up his nationality and lets that personality shine through. He's not a particularly adept tactician. His solution to most problems is hold down the trigger, but far be it from me to question his strategy. It's been working so far. Robert Wallace is currently a specialist, but he's been pleading with Central Officer Bradford for grenadier training because of his love for explosives and big cannons. As soon as we have the facilities and equipment ready, his request will be granted. Alright folks, it is time for the first Guerrilla Ops mission of the War of the Chosen expansion pack. It's nothing fancy, we're just going in to sabotage a transmitter. The difficulty is easy and our reward is an engineer. And this is going to be very beneficial to us to get an engineer early. That is going to allow us to, if we go back to the inside the Avenger, the engineers allow you to clear out debris, which provides you with supplies and gives you more room to expand your facilities for anybody that is new to XCOM. And also they do other stuff as well that we'll get into the more we play. Unfortunately, we don't have any scientists, so our research is going to be a little slow. You can see here we're researching improved cannons for the moment, and there's 9 days remaining on that. But if we can build a laboratory and get some scientists in there, the research on future items will take a little bit less time. And the state of the world, well, there's not really that much going on. All we have is the single Guerrilla Ops mission and this landmark with another engineer, which we're going to pick up after we kill some aliens. So I think I've talked enough. Let's see which squad composition we're bringing with us and then get ready to do some work. Okay, our squad composition is pretty simple because it's early on in the game, so there's not too much to talk about, but we're going to go over it anyway. We have a Grenadier in the first slot with 2 frag grenades, and that is it. Next up, our specialist is Robert Wallace. That is what he got promoted to. He has a flashbang, so that's going to be very valuable if there are any sectoids on this mission and they mind control somebody. Boom, chuck out that flashbang, the mind control is broken, and then we gun that motherfucker down. Next up, we have 2 rookies to fill in the final 2 slots. They're basically just cannon fodder, so it doesn't matter if they die, although I will shed a little crocodile tear, just because it would be impolite if I didn't, I suppose. So let's get out there and sabotage the transmitter.
During a recent scouting operation, our friends in the Resistance picked up readings from a massive psionic transmitter Advent just deployed in this area. As we understand it, destroying that transmitter while it's still connected to their network would cause catastrophic outages across the region. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
Alright, this mission is completely different from what I was expecting. The layout is different. I was expecting it to be on the overworld, maybe in an Advent city, maybe in the slums, but no, we are in the sewer system. Our objective, again, is to plant the X4 charges on the psionic transmitter. So this is a bit similar to the alien relay mission, but if you turn your attention to the top left-hand corner of the screen, it says we can delay the transmission by disabling power relays. I don't know exactly what those are or what they look like, but we got to find them because four turns is not a lot to get. Look how far we have to go. I guess there's a lot of relays between here and the objective, but my goodness, we have a real journey ahead of us. This is going to be a bit difficult, so let's just start off by stacking up next to the door so we can get ready to charge through this as soon as the next turn starts. But I've been paying very close attention to the modding community on Steam and Nexus mods, because we are in a time period right now that I and some other people have referred to as Modpocalypse. This is the time after Firaxis releases any sort of update. A lot of the mods for the game, they just stop working because of changes in the code, and War of the Chosen broke almost everything. like nothing nothing works anymore except for a couple of mods that got lucky. But it's so crazy to see that so many people that made things for the game are springing into action and fixing the creations that they made in the past, and it's just really exciting to watch that. And we've got eyes on a pretty big chunk of this room, but we're not spotting any of those power relays, and the clock is ticking ridiculously fast. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I do know it's not very good. Yeah, there's so many passionate people that play this game, and it's really exciting to see that. This is the is this the only game that I play besides this and Civilization 6 are the only games that I play with such a strong modding community, and it's my first time really getting into that. So it's just exciting to see that so many people will make something and they're not getting paid for it, and then they put it out and they just keep updating it and they keep fixing it and they make sure it works for everybody. And we have eyes on a little power relay, and I assume that'll extend the transmission or extend the turn timer maybe by 1 or 2. But we gotta get to it first. We've got 2 turns remaining. I'm not even gonna bother with engaging the enemies at the moment because we've gotta hustle. Like there's no time to stop for drinks. Jeez. So we got to make sure we don't engage a single pod until we're basically right up on the objective. But to make matters worse is I don't think we can disable those. Oh, Central, shut up. I don't think we can disable it just by standing next to it. I'll test it to see maybe I can like turn it off. No. Okay. I do have a specialist with me, the pillager, but he doesn't get any special options. So I suppose I do just have to shoot it. So damn. I guess we'll just make sure everybody's in cover, and then we'll take a shot at the power thing and blow it up. Good to go. I don't know how I feel about this. I think we're gonna fail the mission.
Well done. As we had hoped, the network separation has been temporarily delayed.
Oh my. We gotta, this is kind of shitty. We got a single extra turn, but we're already on 1 turn, so if we don't find a node in the next room, and we found 2, thank goodness, we're gonna fail. All right, hold on a second, because hold on. We're gonna do a little bit of editing magic and skip ahead, because I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. Okay, so we've got 3 turns now, so that feels a little bit more comfortable. But I don't know exactly how many enemies are on the map. Don't know if there are any more relays. So I'm gonna send this rookie out on a bit of a scouting mission to see if I can get eyes on another relay in the coming turns. Because if not, we might not be able to make this. Because now we've got 2 turns to get to the objective, and I can guarantee that there's gonna be an advent patrolling as soon as we go through this door. So this is really nerve-wracking, actually. So let's just blue move up as far as we can, get a better view of the room, and unfortunately not gonna uncover any more power relays. So we'll just sprint up a little bit more and hope we don't get flanked. Oh, and by the way, is this kind of the most unfunny way to start off a playthrough on a channel that is self-proclaimed as iBluairJgR gaming for comedy? But this is not funny at all. And I swear, it's so difficult to make XCOM funny unless everybody's dying. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. It's always going to be a curse to have that as a tagline for the channel name. And it's this weird thing that just kind of sprung up when my buddy Jay first made the channel way back, I think 5 years ago. I don't know, it was a while back. He put on that tagline because he knew he was a funny motherfucker, and and ever since then, I have legitimately struggled to be. I feel like I'm never that funny, and it bothers the hell out of me that I'm not. I'm not that funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like, somebody please just go in the comments, do me this favor, and just tell me I'm hilarious. It doesn't have to be true. I don't even care if you believe it. Just tell me I'm funny. It'll make me feel so much better. But yeah, I think we're gonna lose this mission. Fuck. Well, that's not the best way to start things. But, oh my god, dude. I've got one turn left. There's no way. Come on, I can't fail the first mission. It's the first mission. And I'm just gonna assume for the moment that the target preview won't let me see things that I don't have vision on. So I'm trying to kind of gimmick the system by passively scanning the area and hoping that a red marker pops up, but there's nothing over there because it's in the fog of war. But yeah, we're gonna fail the primary objective for this mission. Not happy about that at all. But there's nothing we can do about it. Like, dude, what even is this? Is it like, this feels like a joke? I'm getting some very dark flashbacks to when I was playing Long War 2, because that mod did not feel fair at all. All right. I'm not even gonna go down that route. I'm gonna restart the mission. Again, fuck. Is this a joke? Hold on. All right.
It's too late. They've disconnected the transmitter from their network. We missed our opportunity here.
All right, as Central Officer Bradford has just made us aware, we failed the first official mission of the War of the Chosen expansion pack. I'm not counting Operation Gatecrasher because that's pretty much the same as it was in the base game. But the main reason we failed is not because the mission was unfair. I was just a little bit salty to lose at my first mission. The reason we failed is because I was not ready for the strategy involved for this mission. I wound up restarting, and I kept trying to move along in the same fashion that I would operate under any other regular mission, but because you have to destroy these power nodes that are scattered around the map, if you keep your soldiers grouped together, which is what I was doing for the first half of the mission, you can't find the power nodes quickly enough, especially if you're going a very cautious route and trying to overwatch crawl your way so you can get an ambush on a pod. The way this mission is structured, it really feels like you have to just throw caution to the wind and run and gun your way from start to finish. But it's pretty cool that they are pushing the mechanics of the missions in a different way. Even though we lost the main objective, though, that means we're not going to get the engineer, but we can still farm a little bit of experience for our soldiers, so we're going to continue clearing things out. And if you can't tell by now, I'm doing a post-game commentary. I was way too salty about failing this mission to continue doing it live and in the moment, and already the salt levels are beginning to rise as our soldiers are getting shot by Advent troopers, but fortunately the next shot is going to miss, leaving us at 1 hit point. This is very dangerous. Robert Wallace is also at 1 hit point as well, so the next shot that hits him will kill him. Unfortunately, I don't have a mod installed, or I haven't made any file changes to the way soldiers bleed out, so it is extremely likely that people will just straight up die from any fatal shots, and that's a scary thing. But yeah, for the next time we get a mission like this, the strategy is going to be to seriously divide up our soldiers so that we can spread out and destroy all of the little power nodes that are scattered around. Because I think I saw 6 of them, which would have brought the total turn timer up to 10. And 10 turns would have been more than enough to get to the objective, but I was only able to push my turn timer up to, I think I had 6 or 7 turns before getting stopped by the clock. So it's going to be interesting to continue with War of the Chosen to see what other new missions put a very interesting spin on the classics. Overall, though, the remaining bit of the mission. It was just pretty much kill all the aliens remaining, so we just had to use our superior tactical knowledge to eliminate them. We destroyed that guy's cover with a grenade, so we were able to get a pretty decent shot percentage on him. It was about 80%, and a lot of times when the shot percentage goes above 75, I start to assume that it's guaranteed, but it's not, so that could have gone poorly. But now I'm making use of the target preview feature to see where I can move to, where I have a flank, and luckily for me, I can just inch over one tile, remain in full cover with Robert Wallace, and shoot at that guy while flanked with a 70% shot and completely miss the mark. It's very unfortunate. We need to get that guy a cannon so he can just spray and pray and also lob grenades because he loves explosives and big guns. Now, before we end up the turn, we've got one more shot to take. It's only 25%, but I'm not trying to move this soldier to a new position, so I'm going to take the shot, and of course, it is going to miss. 26% may as well be negative. So at this point, we don't know if there are any other enemies on the map, but I'm going to spoil it for you. There is another pod to deal with, so as that guy runs backwards, we have to weigh the pros and cons of chasing him because we don't have any battle scanners, so we can't determine if there are any other enemies on the map. So the choice is, do we rush after him and just try and shoot him in the face and hope there's nobody in the fog of war, or do we sit back and be cautious? And we're going for the more conservative play. We're putting our guys on Overwatch. A lot of times when soldiers do go back and retreat, it means they're looking for another pod to bring forward, and that is exactly what's happening. He brought his allies back with him, so they're going to start rushing towards us now. And we did connect. We got a sectoid and 3 troopers in that little section. Another shot going to go out. Robert Wallace is missing again, unfortunately. So it's back to our turn again, and we've got a very high priority target in the form of the sectoid. I have a mod installed. I believe it's called the Improved AI. I'll put all the mods I'm using in the description. I'll continue to update it episode by episode because I'm installing a lot of them. But I really enjoy the mods that augment the AI because it makes them a little bit more unpredictable from what they usually are. The sectoids a lot of times only use their mind controlling abilities in the base game, but that was a nice shot. When you have improved AI mods, a lot of guys that make them, they change it so that the sectoids are more inclined to take flanking shots if the opportunity arises, and that can be a really scary thing. They don't have the strongest weapons in the game, but especially early on when you've only got 4 points of health, a sectoid can crit you and kill somebody. So we've got to be extra careful about that because we've got 2 guys at 1 hit point. So it's scary, man. It's scary. I've felt tension like this in so long, but the way we're gonna deal with this is by playing as safely as possible. Even though we're only in half cover and we are going to miss, the enemies at this stage of the game, they don't have the best aim statistics, so it's not too crazy of a gamble for us to stay in half cover, especially because we have a flashbang that we can throw out. This is going to disable the sectoid's mind control, disorient one of the advent troopers. I don't remember. See, there we go. Look at him shooting that pistol, that plasma pistol. I don't remember exactly how much aim the advent troopers have. I think it's 65. And the flashbang, I believe, reduces their aim by 15. So we're giving ourselves a pretty big advantage by being in half cover against a flashbang to target. Unfortunately, though, the biggest issue with the flashbang is that, or the biggest downside to it is that it only disorients for a single turn. So if we don't kill either one or all of these targets, they're going to come back at us with their full aim stats and their full might. So we've got to do something about this, and that Overwatch is causing some big problems. It's making us unable to advance and change positions. The cannon shot is going to miss. The cannon is ridiculously powerful. It is an instant kill as long as it connects because it has a minimum roll of 4 damage. So grenadiers are insanely powerful. You always should bring at least one, especially in the early game. Sometimes I like to mess around and not bring grenadiers because I like to try unorthodox team compositions, but man, oh man, they're so powerful, especially in the base game. In the Long War II perk pack, the grenadiers are a bit more conservative than they are in the base game. So we've got a little bit of a puzzle on our hands, and we have to do a lot of weighting of the pros and cons of every decision that we make. And one of the hardest things to come to grips with once you become a veteran XCOM player is, when do I give up my full cover? When do I say, you know what? screw it, I'm going to take a risk. When is a flanking shot more valuable than just playing it safe? And right now, I'm feeling like a flanking shot is a bit more valuable. I can't one-hit kill the sectoid, but I can attempt to get some big damage on him. The hit's not going to crit, but we did a nice chunk of damage, and we got an ability point, which I still don't know how to use them. I haven't gotten far enough in the game to be able to manipulate the ability point system, but soon. Fingers crossed that we make it that far. If we're failing the first mission, things could get really bad. And a mind control is finally going to come out, or a mind spin rather, and it is going to resist the mind control, but the panic is going to go out. Our soldier going to change positions and hunker down. This advent trooper moving closer to our soldier. It missed. That's pretty lucky because he was nearly point blank on our guy, so that could have been very deadly. Now, the real unfortunate thing here is we can't get a flanking shot on this sectoid. The target preview feature, so amazing. So we're just going to stay in our current position, shoot at him, deal 4 damage, and leave him at 1 point of health. Oh my goodness. But it's not all bad because we did have another shot, and that one is going to connect. So long story short, we wound up clearing out the remaining enemies, and that feels pretty good, but we still failed the mission. But afterwards, I'm really enjoying this take a photo feature. Somebody brought their selfie stick with them, so I went in and I was very upset that we failed. So I said, "Fuck this game! It's designed for failure." That is not a poster that we want to hang up to inspire people to join the resistance. So I went in and I tweaked it a little bit more. XCOM 2, leave the salt at home. So that is the second picture that we're gonna have. We're gonna post that up in the Avengers somewhere, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, so we failed the first mission. It sucks. But hey, it's a learning experience. We're playing on the highest difficulty, Legend, and we've got some other difficulty mods installed. Again, the mods that we're using are in the description. So, with all of that said, we're gonna wrap up, but before we conclude completely, if you head to the description one more time, there is a link for Kinguin.net. It is a CD key distributor similar to G2A, and I recently became an affiliate with them. I'm taking it out for a test spin, so if you're looking for discounts on a number of different titles for the PC, including XCOM 2, head over there and check it out, but use the link in the description and that will help me out. On that note, the name of the game is XCOM 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment because that would be awesome. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.